Hey, what's up, it's Straight Shootin LJA here, and welcome to another episode of the Straight Shootin Rants. Now, one thing I do want to talk about quickly is Black History Month. We all know in the UK it's in October, and in America it's in February. But as much as I love Black History Month, I have a little bit of an issue with it. And my issue is with the rampant tokenism that seems to go on during Black History Month. Now, every TV network is like, oh, we've got a black show, let's put it on in October. Oh, we've got this black person, let's give them a push, let's give them this spotlight during October. Yeah, let's do that. But my thing is when this kind of thing goes way too far. Now, in terms of tokenism, you've only got to look at there's certain retail companies, like say a Sainsbury's for instance, who I'm not a fan of for a number of reasons, but I won't go into that right now. But there are a lot of companies that are signposting, yeah, we support Black History Month, we support this, we support that during October, but they're kind of talking out of both sides of their neck because throughout the rest of the year, they don't give a damn about anything else. So it's one of them where it's like I said, it's all good saying you support this, you support that during the month where you're supposed to, but what are you doing for the rest of the year? Now, Royal Mail's initiative of having the black post boxes and having images of notable black people from history, so such as Sir Arthur Wharton, Lenny Henry, among others, that's actually a very nice idea, and I don't so much mind that one, although it is a bit of tokenism, because they did the same thing with, I think it was celebrating the London 2012 Olympics, and they had the gold post boxes around. So it is a little bit of tokenism, but at the end of the day, at least it's something nice, as opposed to PureGym. Now, there was a branch of PureGym that put out, I can't be wrong to actually say this in 2020, the 12 Years a Slave workout. And the tagline actually said, slavery was hard, and so is this workout. And it's like, for God's sake, it's like, apparently it was revealed that the person who came up with this idea is black. But that changed nothing for me. I thought, alright, sell out. It's like that was the first thing that came to mind. Alright, you sold out your people for the sake of a paycheck. The 12 Years a Slave workout from PureGym is one of those things where I look at it and think, good God. Even if that was just isolated to one branch of PureGym, do you know about the amount of PR damage that can and probably has done to PureGym? It's like, come on, like somebody at that branch had to think, yeah, maybe this is not a good idea. Even if it is coming from a black person, most people won't even dig that deep to know it's from a black person, and even so, that still actually shouldn't even matter, because it's offensive on so many levels to have that kind of thing. It's like, oh God, no. It's like, what are you doing? Somebody in quality control surely could have stepped up and been like, yeah, this is not the greatest idea in the world. This is going to backfire. Anybody with half a brain would have seen that could have backfired. But for me, as I said, it's a case of the rampant tokenism that goes on during Black History Month here and in America as well, where that's the one thing that's a major drawback for me of Black History Month. And there are a lot of black people through history who have contributed in major ways to history, who, because Black History Month, they try and condense everything into 1 month, like our history is that minuscule that it can be condensed into a month, where a lot of things get missed. Walter Tull, Sir Arthur Wharton, and those are just footballing examples. Lenny Henry, Stephen K. Amos, among others, Dame Kelly Holmes, Tessa Sanderson, Linford Christie. these are just sporting examples that you could do a deep dive into and give spotlight to, which leads me on to my next point about not being able to get everybody into the month. Now, the fact is, a month is a very finite period, and a month actually can whiz by. But I look at it as, if you really wanted to promote black history, which at the end of the day, yes, some have said, oh, it's human history. And yeah, if it is human history, then it should be folded in with the rest of history and also told properly. And this leads me on to schools, because black history, sadly, the premise, the foundation, the base of black history is always kicked off with slavery. And that's another annoyance of mine, where it's like, our history is so much more than just slavery. So much of our history has been whitewashed, has been just completely eradicated, and is never ever told. And I said, most people think, oh yeah, black history, yeah, slavery, oh yeah, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. Most people go for the default examples, but there are so many more. There was so much more to our history than that. Going back to Egypt, going back thousands of years, not just 100, 200, 300, 400 years to slavery and colonization. It goes back further than that. You look at examples such as Black Wall Street in America. Research it. I'm not going to do the research for you. You do it. But the rampant tokenism, as said, of Black History Month annoys me. And it's a case of, especially during 2020, when you've got the Black Lives Matter movement and that kind of thing, it shows that there is a lot more depth than either people want to admit or people want to publicize. So it's one of them where the national curriculum needs to be a hell of a lot more inclusive. That, there is no doubt in that at all. There is a lot of certain people's history, Christian history. There's a hell of a lot of that in the national curriculum, but black history, as I said, is narrowed down to just a month, and even that varies in terms of where you go and where you have your education. I went to 5 different primary schools, and at probably one of them, I got taught black history in primary. And even that was because it was an inner city school which was predominantly black down in Brixton, Hillmead Junior School, just for the record. And we had a black head teacher and also a black deputy head. So of course the focus is going to be there. Brent, I know, does a lot in regards to, and certain schools do a lot of education in terms of black history, in terms of Hindu history as well, because of, you got the Swaminarayan temple just round the corner from a couple of schools. So it's one of them where it can be done if schools are willing to do it, and there are schools who are willing to do it and who do it, but there are too many schools who don't, because the national curriculum is seen not necessarily as a guide. It's like, right, you must do this hard and fast. And again, this is why there needs to be diversity in the curriculum, because the earlier you can teach children about diversity, the better. And yes, children are not born racist. On a general basis, they don't see color. They're just like, oh, that's my friend. Oh, my friend looks a bit different, but let's play. That's how kids are. And sadly, the segregation and the division happens as they grow into teenagers and as they go into adulthood. And it's a damn shame. And the media, who are a disgrace on a general basis, have a lot to answer for. And I was actually discussing with someone recently where the media would not be able to get away with their thoroughly and completely negative representation of black people if more people knew about the positive aspects of our history. And I firmly believe that. Because at the end of the day, most people only know what they're either taught in school or what they're spoon-fed by the media, especially the newspapers, who again have a hell of a lot to answer for in terms of negative perception and negative representation of ethnic groups, especially black people. And speaking as a black male, especially us. So it's a case of there needs to be a lot, for me, there needs to be a lot less of this parading. Oh yeah, look at this black person we've got. Oh look, yeah, look how happy this black person is during Black History Month. We need a lot less of that and a lot more general inclusivity. So whether that starts with sport, whether that starts with television, and I've said about the Premier League, and I'll do this on a pitch talk vlog because obviously I'm not going to take up too much of your time with footballing analogies, but I said in regards to the Premier League doing taking the knee and putting Black Lives Matter on the front of shirts and then on the sleeves, it's a case of, and on the back of shirts, it's a case of, yeah, that's all well and good, that kind of token or symbolic gesture, but if you were really serious about anti-racism and Black Lives Mattering, not the organisation, I mean it as a concept, because there is a difference. If you were really serious about that and anti-racism, then what you would do is you would have more diversity in higher positions in the game. And it's the same with television. It's all good. I mean, for me, and I did a review on it, Sitting in Limbo, the pre-Watershed version of that drama. I did a review of it. It was a very good drama. Look at the statistics at the end of it as well in regards to the Windrush scandal. I encourage you, youtube.com/LJA Productions 07. I did my review on there. It's also on Mixcloud and also IGTV, Liam_LJA_Angel, 2 L's. I encourage you to look at that. But it's all good having shows and dramas and stuff like that, but there needs to be diversity overall. And this, for me, is the problem. And you can still see that there is a simmering undercurrent of racism, especially in England. And you can see that with, you look at Diversity, which is kind of an ironic name for the kind of dance group that they are. But they did a controversial performance on, Britain's Got Talent, and look at, I think it was something like 25,000 Ofcom complaints. Oh, there shouldn't be, oh no, you can't mix politics and TV. Yeah, but they are inextricably linked. And also look at the racist abuse that Marcus Rashford has had to take, and all he's doing is trying to help end child poverty. And he did his bit by investing millions of pounds of his own money to set up basically a fund for those children who were impoverished when the government was trying to take away free school meals. And he received racist abuse for that. Alex Scott, when she was wrongly revealed as the new host of Question of Sport after it was announced that Sue Barker was going to step down. It's like, wow, and it wasn't even true. That was the worst thing. But the thing is, it's on them where you have that kind of thing, and all those examples show to me is how this country likes to pay lip service and do its token gestures. Yeah, we'll take the knee with you. Yeah, Black Lives Matter. But when it comes to actually implementing diversity, different topic, and a lot of people don't want to do it. And for me, that's the attitude we need to get rid of. And as I said, the earlier you start, if you start it in schools where you teach children to be diverse, not necessarily to not see colour, because at the end of the day, the differences between us in this life are what make us unique, and uniqueness which should always be advocated and encouraged. I believe uniqueness. Our differences are not reasons to hate each other. Our differences should be reasons and should be encouragement to understand each other, to learn about each other and accept each other. So, as I said, the tokenism really doesn't help. Token gestures do not help. Companies trotting out their 1 or 2 black employees or pushing their black employees. Yeah, take a picture, it look good. Yeah, we need the PR. No, that does not do any good. Getting rid of glass ceilings, getting rid of upper limits, like say access to management roles, getting rid of that, making it a level playing field and interviewing people based on merit, not just because of say a Rooney rule where you have to interview someone of a certain ethnic background just to fill a quota. No, that doesn't help. Education, diversity, inclusion, these should not be just buzzwords. These are critical parts in making us a better country and also a better world. And we need to be better. We need to be better. And we can be better. But as said, we need to stop relying and stop focusing on token gestures and token measures and things like the PureGym thing, 12 years a slave to work out. That shouldn't even make the light of day. Surely some quality control should be adhered to there. And someone should have been like, nah, that's not a good idea. No, I don't care who it's coming from. It's not a good idea. It shouldn't be done. Just like Sainsbury's, when 12 Years a Slave was released on DVD back in 2014, literally had, a stand next to it where it was like, oh, get the 12 Years a Slave look. And it's like, Christ on a bike. No. Like, don't do it. There needs to be common sense. And sadly, common sense isn't common enough. Feel cleansed. Ran over. You know what? I have been Straight Shootin LJA and I want to know what you think. The comment section is below. Please get in touch. Mixcloud, IGTV and YouTube is where you can find the Straight Shootin Rants. I have been Straight Shootin LJA. And until next time, take it easy, peeps, and have yourself a very nice day. Take it easy, peeps.